Hello, my name is Philip Calkard. I am the president of Fraternal Order of Police, Evergreen Lodge 1 in Silverdale, Washington. Today is our outreach program. This is a show we put on periodically to give the community information about services that are available in the community. Our law enforcement, our main goal is as peacemakers. And the way we keep the peace is by enforcing the laws and by providing services to the public. And part of our services that we're providing through Fraternal Order of Police is these shows will give you information on different things available to you in the community. Today we have the privilege and honor to have Kathy Phillips and Megan Stiles.
Mm-hmm.
And they're from Navy Marine Corps Relief Program. Megan is the director of the program for the shipyard in Bremerton, and Kathy is the director of the Navy Relief Program at Bangor Base. Kitsap County has, as you all know, a big military presence here with three main bases. And so we wanted to give information on these services. Kathy, can you tell us a little about yourself?
Yes, I'd be happy to. I started out as a volunteer in our Norfolk, Virginia office way back in 1990. And but I've been the director here at the Bangor office for, been fortunate, over 20 years now.
Wow.
So I'm very grateful.
Yeah. And Megan, tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, I have a much similar history to Kathy, just not quite as much of a legacy yet. I have been a volunteer and with the Society for about 8-9 years. I've been the director at Bremerton for going on the second year, and I was director down in Ventura, California for about a year before that.
That was a busy place, I bet.
It was, for sure.
So, okay, for those that don't know, and I don't know, I'm sad to say, too much about your organization. Kathy, can you tell us what's the mission of the Navy Marine Corps Relief Program?
Society. It's a mouthful, it is. Well, we are a volunteer-run nonprofit organization that serves members of the naval services, so active duty and retired Navy and Marine Corps service members and their eligible dependents. And we're there for their emergency financial needs, and we have other programs as well that are non-services. And we are here to also administer the funds and manage the funds that we have to help those people.
Mm-hmm. And when you say eligible service members and family members, does that include children and widows and things like that?
Yes, all eligible dependents of that service member, whether they're the children or the spouses or even our widows, of deceased service members, we're here to help them. And in fact, that's how we got founded back in 1904, was helping our widows and orphans. So we stay close to that mission.
And are you involved with veterans as well, or just active?
Just the active and retired service
Active
members,
and retired.
yes.
Okay. Megan, can you tell us a little bit about the history of the organization?
Yeah, we've been around for more than 115 years. A few people do know about it. It's mostly
And
active duty and retirees. I know, right? it's all makeup now. So we've been around since then. We were founded in 1904 with the proceeds of an Army-Navy game that happened the year prior at the University of Pennsylvania. Grace Higginson, the spouse of the Commandant of the Washington Navy Yard, was our first president and a volunteer. It basically examples how the legacy of volunteerism is throughout our society, and it still is currently.
And you were founded, your original funding came from a football game,
Correct,
right?
yes.
And so where does your funds come now?
So the majority of our funds come from an active duty fund drive. We also have a retiree appeal fund drive. We do have community organizations that contribute to us, individuals and organizations as a whole. And then because we do 0% interest loans, repayment of those interest loans, we just recycle that money over and over.
Sounds like a pretty big operation.
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
your organization is a readiness partner. I don't know what that means.
Well, we're a firm believer of financial readiness equals mission readiness. And, all the commanders want their service members to be, fit and ready to serve the mission. But if they're worried and stressed about the financial pieces, we're here to alleviate that stress and make sure that they are ready to do their mission. And we have offices all over the globe. So we're an international organization, over 200 offices, both within the United States, overseas, and also on shipboard offices. We have those to help our service members when they're deployed.
So you got 200 officers. About how many regular staff do you have? You must have an enormous staff working on this.
We are a volunteer-run organization, so we operate with very minimal staff. I think we're up to maybe 160 paid staff for our international organization, and we have over 4,000 volunteers that help us do the mission at hand. So we could not do this without our faithful and dedicated volunteers.
Okay. Megan.
Yes.
Who are and what are the MOA and global partners?
Okay, we work under memorandums of understanding with other aid societies and other military services. So the Air Force, the Army, the Coast Guard all have organizations similar to ours helping their service members. So if a Marine or a sailor finds themselves disassociated from a Navy or Marine base, they can go to one of the other aid societies for assistance under our agreements of policy and procedure. And if they find themselves outside of a 50-mile radius of any base or any aid society, they can contact the American Red Cross, who assists in the same matter. So we ensure that there is a safety net globally. It doesn't matter where you are, how remote you are, for every Marine and sailor and their families.
Okay. So you're all the different relief societies for the different branches. You all do some coordination through the American Red Cross?
Yes, they basically serve as a liaison when we're unavailable. So if our offices are closed on weekends, holidays, or again, outside the radius of where they can comfortably get to us, they can call the Red Cross, do their cases over the phone, over the internet, and then abide by our policies and procedures for assistance.
Okay. And if are these most of the assistance you give a planned assistance, or is it emergency that they need it like right now?
Oh yeah, so we delve on emergency assistance. So we triage financial situations that are occurring due to unforeseen emergencies, hardships, potential pay problems, basically anything that's mostly unexpected. We won't help you buy a house or buy a car unless it necessarily fits your financial self-sufficiency. Or a vacation, yes. We don't do luxury things. We don't help you plan to get there, but we can help you establish savings to get yourself there
And
yourself.
I was all ready to re-enlist.
I know, right?
Right.
Kathy, what programs and services do you offer?
We have a number of services and programs that we have. Aside from the financial assistance that we provide, we have a Budget for Baby workshops, which is an educational program we do for expectant parents that it teaches them all about the costs associated with having a baby, because they're expensive. And then at the end of the workshop, they get a $25 gift card from us, plus a lot of freebie items. We also have volunteers that make blankets for that program, so they get a free handmade blanket for attending that workshop, which is just a little over an hour long. We also have a visiting nurse, and she's a registered nurse. And she does free home visits. She's here 2 days a week. We share her with our Everett office up there, and so she can check on a new baby, for instance, or let's say a retiree or a widow that might need some looking after. She's a great liaison between the doctors and nurses at the hospitals here. and our service members who might need that extra, checking in on. And then we just offer financial counseling. So we can sit down and do a budget and help them see where their money's going and kind of get them back on track. And we email that budget to them after we're done so they can kind of follow up and stay financially ready, so they're mission ready. And that's a good overview of most of our programs that we provide.
Well, okay, Megan, when the financial assistance, can you explain what kind and to whom that you would give it to?
Yeah, so we assist active duty retirees and their eligible family members, and we still do help the widows and orphans that we originally founded to assist. We help mostly with 0% interest loans, and we do grants as well. The 0% interest loans, again, are for the emergency assistance, the unforeseen emergencies that arise to get them to their next paycheck, to get them through those scenarios. Occasionally, a grant is needed when putting a loan on a service member or their family would incur a more harsh financial situation than a help. So if that grant can help them get to the zero, to make them stable, to make them go forward financially successfully, then we help them with grants.
Okay. Kathy, what kind of financial assistance do you offer?
Well, most of our money goes out to help our individual clients is for the basic living expenses, the food, the rent, and the utilities. Anybody can have a hiccup in life that can kind of blindside them, and so we gave out over $1 million last year between our two offices, so about $492,000 were just for basic living expenses. We're also here to help with government pay errors. Yes, the government can make mistakes in your pay. It happens. Or there's a delay in entitlements. If, for instance, a service member is newly married and they get a housing allowance, but there's oftentimes a delay in receipt of those special pays. So, but they still have to pay rent. So, we're here to kind of help mitigate those issues that can creep up to no fault of their own, honestly. We're also here to help with medical and dental expenses. Those costs can really escalate, the cost shares, especially dental, without insurance, and we advocate that they all get insurance, but those costs can really, really escalate and hurt a family's budget for sure. And then there's the emergency travel piece. There is a death or critical illness in their immediate family, father, mother, brother, sister, or in-laws, also grandparents. And as directors, Meg and I can make an exception for aunts, uncles, and cousins. And we make their travel arrangements for them and get them where they need to go, anywhere in the world, wherever that emergency is occurring. And they have priority over all of our other appointments due to their situation, so we want to get them in and out as quickly as possible. So we do a lot of emergency travel requests, especially around the holidays. It seems to escalate during that time. Vehicle-related expenses. We do a lot of vehicle repairs. We're looking at engine replacements are roughly $5,000 to $6,000, and if you're talking about a young family in E4 in the military, that's a lot of money for them to come up with to, and they got to get to work. So we're here to, help look at that. We're also can help with car payments and car insurance, a lot of car-related things, that we can do. We also help with education programs. We have an education program going now. It's between November and May. We're taking applications, and that's for bachelor's degrees or now master's degrees. It's a loan or a grant for eligible dependents, so spouses and children of our active duty and retired service members, so they can pursue their education. And then last but certainly not least, we help with funeral expenses. As directors of our full service offices, our limit for funerals is $6,500. We can help for a modest funeral. And we never know when those kind of things can happen to our service members. And that's for our eligible dependents. But one of the unique things that we do also is we can help with funeral expenses for our clients' parents or parents-in-law. And none of them can usually predict when that might happen. So, we're here to help them with that as well. And that's a good overview of, most of the financial assistance that we do provide.
the financial is, it's in the form of a interest-free loan, correct?
Most of our assistance is interest-free loans, but we do grants.
Right.
And the bottom line is whenever we're helping our clients, we do not want to create another hardship for them. That defeats the purpose of us helping. So we are cognizant of that.
Yeah,
moving
I have a
forward.
question on this line, which I don't know exactly. The difficult I see is how do you determine whether the petitioner is has a legitimate claim, and his claim is not because he was negligent or reckless. You know, that seems like an awful fine line that would make it very difficult, because you don't want to, you can't completely give them the benefit of doubt, but you don't want to not give them the benefit of doubt at the same time. So
Right.
how do you deal with that?
We verify the need, first of all. So if they say they need help with rent, we're going to call that landlord and make sure it hasn't already been paid, and they're going to use the money in a different way. So every request, we have to do a verification piece. Are some of our clients negligent and still learning how to manage money? Absolutely. But our mission, part of our important mission, is financial education. So before we dispense most of our money, we're going to do a budget with them first, and so they can get that education piece and learn how to manage their money. Oftentimes, especially our younger clients, aren't ever taught how to do that, and this is their first job, it's their first paycheck, and now, oh my gosh, they've spent too much. So we recognize that they'll make mistakes, and we're not here to judge, we're here to teach and make sure that they get back on track, and make sure that they can have a successful career and not have the finances derail.
I think you probably hit nail right on the head with that, because a lot of the military is a young group, and a
Right.
lot of them, they're doing things they've never done before, and they're
Right.
on their own, and if they have a family or they're married, that complicates it even more.
It certainly
So
does, yes.
I can see where you would be a very valuable resource, but I could also see where it'd be very difficult to make that determination in a lot of cases.
It is, yeah. And the commanders, you know, they see us as a partner for them, ensuring that they can complete that mission. And so they do refer their clients, their service members, to us all the time. Right? Yeah.
In that regard, Megan, what's a confidentiality that policy you have with your clients?
Yeah, we definitely respect our clients' confidentiality. Money in public, just in the normal world, isn't something that we like to talk about. So we definitely don't want a service member who is in need to feel that their information is being shared with friends, family, commands, neighborhoods, communities. So we don't share information unless we have permission from the service member to do such. There may be cases where we encourage the service member to seek assistance from their command partnership for more education, follow up with their command financial specialist, something like that. We might encourage that, so that's the service member's ability to disclose to their command that they've utilized our services. But other than that, we only disclose if it's a misconduct, criminal act, or affecting the goodwill and order of the command.
Okay. Kathy, is there any exceptions to your policy?
Absolutely. As directors of full service offices, we have a limit of $5,500 that we can dispense to our clients. Anything above that is an exception to our policy, and we have to go to our headquarters and present that case as an exception. Funerals, we do, are allowed to go up to $6,500 for that. So if their funeral came in at $7,000, we'd have to take that up as an exception, or any other request for that matter. Sometimes we have to deny a request that comes in because it's just not in policy to help with that. So anytime we have a denial, and that represents about 3% of all of our cases. So 97 out of 100 clients are going to get help when they walk through our door, but there's a small percentage that we can't because their request is outside of policy. They have the option to appeal that denial back to their command if they wish to do that. We don't pressure them to do that. It is all on the client's desire to do that if he wants to pursue that. If the command supports him and wants us to use donated dollars to help that service member for or client for that request, then they'll call us, the office, back with the directors and have a conversation. And then if we feel that it warrants an exception, we'll bring that up to our headquarters as well.
That brings me to another question. What's your headquarters? Are your independent
Full service office.
service office, but then you
The big
you
bosses,
report to
right.
a headquarters, and
Yes.
is a headquarters, is that a national headquarters, is it
Yes.
a local headquarters, what is it?
Yeah, it's our international headquarters. It's in Arlington, Virginia.
And it takes care of all the
And it
ones?
takes care of all of our offices. So on our board of directors, it alternates, the chairman of our board of directors alternates between the commandant of the Marine Corps and the chief of naval operations. And then all other board members are the chief Navy and Marine Corps service members that represent all of the top dogs. The Navy installations, the chaplain corps, the legal corps, the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy is on our board, and many of their spouses as well. So they are our policymakers. And our president is typically, all of our officers are typically retired senior officers that serve up there at our headquarters. So, yeah.
Okay. And when you make a request to headquarters, if you got, every base has your groups in it, right? What's the turnaround on getting an answer from
Same
your
day.
request?
Yeah, they're very quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same day.
Same day?
Oh, absolutely. Usually within minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's usually pretty quick. We don't want to keep the client there any longer than they need to be. So they have a staff up there that is able to handle all of those.
We need that headquarters secret on bureaucracy that they
Right.
can return answers that quick.
Absolutely, yeah.
You don't see that too often.
No,
in
you don't.
situations.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Megan, what's the main objective of your Navy Marine Corps Relief Society? God, I have trouble with that. It's just too long.
Yes, NMCRS. Yes. So we are here to make a difference, a positive difference in the financial lives of the sailors, the Marines, and their families. We want to make sure that they have the education going forward, if they don't have it, to prepare themselves financially. And then we want to help them through those difficult situations that are very difficult to plan for. So, yeah, to make a difference.
Oh, good. We're getting short on time here, so we're going to cut it short. But Kathy, what's the main goal of your organization?
You know, we want to ensure that all of our clients are financially self-sufficient. You know, that's our main goal, and we do that through the education that we provide when they come in and seek our assistance.
And are you like a 501?
Yes,
Yes.
3C.
501(c). Yes, we are.
Okay. So anybody can make a donation
Correct.
to you?
Yes.
Okay. And your volunteers, that's your main backbone, main deal. Anyone that's interested in helping our military should contact
Yes.
these ladies or anyone
Absolutely.
that,
Yeah.
if you got relatives elsewhere that want to make a difference and do something, this would be a good program, especially in a Navy
Yeah.
town like this one.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to
Absolutely.
add before we close here?
Well, you can find us on our website, which is nmcrs.org, as well as our Facebook sites.
Okay,
Yes.
great. And I will put you on our website too.
Wonderful.
So you can go to our website right there,
Great.
FOP evergreenlodge.org, and you can get the information on that and other resources available to everyone in the community. Thank you for your time, and come back. We'll have another show coming up down the road. Thank you for coming.
Thank you
and
for
being
having
here.
us.
We appreciate
Yes.
it. Thank you.
And we want to thank our staff, the staff that did the show for us and made this possible. Without Bremerton Kitsap Access TV, we wouldn't be able to be here and give you this information that can be used to help all of us trying to coexist in this community. Thank you.